Okay, we're back.
Episode 2, 3.
Episode 2 and 3. So, we were wrong in our predictions. It wasn't anybody wild. It's just Cut, which is the clone deserter from that one Clone Wars episode where Rex gets shot through the chest and probably should have died on contact if we're going off of a precedent. But that's not this episode.
I think it's a cool character to bring back. They definitely.
Yeah, it definitely
I
answers that
mean,
question if anybody had that question.
we we get some in the episode 2. It's a pretty
Simple.
quick episode. Um, we find out that Rex came through there after his whole ordeal with Ahsoka and Maul, and we see Daddy Hunter. We we get a little Daddy Hunter act. Hunter, he's struggling to become a daddy.
Star Wars is definitely trying to get that like solo dad thing. Like we're gonna start getting all the space dads that we possibly
Space
can.
dad.
Yeah,
Space dad.
I mean we
Sad.
got more context on chain codes, kind of the origin of that. Uh, Not a lot of crosshair stuff at all in episode 2. We see an emotional scene between Omega and the rest of the Bad Batch, and
My name's Amiga.
yeah.
Episode 2, not that this is a bad thing, just felt like a Rebels episode. There's something like it was very Rebels, which is weird to say. Where they're just trying to maneuver around the Empire.
Yeah. I mean, I guess a big focus is like, what is Omega's purpose? Because, I mean, like, she was described as one of the enhanced or whatever. It's different, but, like, we don't know exactly what, and I doubt it's gonna be exactly just for being a girl. Be kind of like lame if that was their only, like, goal.
Um, what we talk about. Well, after that, we can move to episode 3, and I think we get more of that in episode 3, where it starts off with the crash landing, of course.
Yeah.
And they crash on this moon. I think they said it's a moon, right?
Yes. I don't know if it's said to be a moon, but I think it's implied with it being when they're actually see the planets and then also the moon dragons on it.
Yeah. And they're trying to make ship repairs after getting shot at from escaping Sacco Minor, I think, is the place that they escaped from.
Yeah.
And we, of course, see the moon dragons, as mentioned. And Hunter and Omega and the crew, we see this weird dynamic where Omega's not really a part of the team yet because she's sleeping on the floor. She's kind of just in between them all while they're all trying to do their own thing. And we kind of the moon dragons take what they need, so they have to go and get it back, and we get this moment where
They take an energy source if anybody's curious. It's nothing like important.
it's like a conduit or something. And Hunter and Omega go out to, of course, go get the moon lizard. We'll get to the crosshair stuff because I feel like I just want to talk about that cohesively. And so Hunter tracks down the moon lizard because he's Hunter, big Hunter energy, and he fights the lizard and gets knocked out.
It knocks
Takes it
off
out.
it knocks off the mask that he's wearing. They're all wearing like respirators and stuff, and then the dragon knocks it off, and he's like dying.
And we see her. I don't know, like what it's about, but they kind of imply that she knows how to track the dragon. But she gets the piece back by herself after calling it for backup and no one responding. And she kind of proves herself without having to kill the moon dragon. She figures out a little thing. Yeah. Uncle Uncle Wrecker and Daddy Hunter get the get. I mean, they give her a room in the turret room. I was like, what happens when they start getting blasted at? Yeah, so we have. I think this is probably the major part of the episode is we get more of the beginnings of the Empire. Take a sip of that. Yeah, that looks thick. Um, and we see Crosshair, of course, they're examining um, his chip and stuff and how it's functioning. And then we see Admiral Tarkin and a character called Rampart, which I believe is actually new. Definitely didn't just look it up before this. And Rampart is leading the conscription force, this new conscription force for the Empire, and the first team is going to be led by Crosshair, which of course we kind of talked about in the first episode was one of our predictions. Is I said, well, I think you actually said that the Death Trooper thing, and I said, well, they're going to be led by clones, and that's exactly what we see. We see, I think, I mean, they're wearing black like trooper outfits. So they have a 4-person conscripted force to join them. Which, of course, this episode is called the replacements, and I think they're trying to replace Clone Force 99, and and Tarkin sends them out to go put a cap in Saw Gerrera again. And we see the humans are, I mean, I hate to call them humans, but they're humans. The conscripted force is, they're a little, what was the one dude say about the Empire? Yeah, we kind of see like the citizen perspective on the Republic and the Jedi. But yeah, and then they go to the Saw Gerrera's camp, and on their way there, the one blonde asshole questions Crosshair. Yeah, this Bad Batch animation is a little bit in between both, and you see that with some of the fights. And it reminds me the most when you look at Rampart. He is very Rebels like, and then it's kind of weird next to the Camoans. They're very Clone Wars. How we've known Clone Wars. And well, Cross they question why they would even put a clone in charge, and well, Crosshair, yeah, we get a little on their mission. Crosshair, straight edge guy. Bop bop bop. Good soldiers follow orders, and the blonde guy does not want to kill these citizens, and these like he calls them citizens and innocents, and they have nothing to do with Saw Gerrera. They're just trying to hitch a ride off the planet. And Crosshair is like, yeah, and he busts the cap in one blonde guy, and he tells them kill them all. And there's like, it's so dark. It's so dark. You just get Crosshair's face and sound effects of the flamethrower and blasters going off to these unarmed citizens. And they come back from the mission success. And Tarkin and Rampart are pleased, but I don't. As like a viewer, I was like, I mean, the clone still really pushed it, but of course they don't see the mission, so they just think conscription force works. And then we see a scene where Crosshair and his new crew go back to his original quarters, and you see almost like a remorse in Crosshair, where he kind of seems to like miss or like something's missing for him. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, and I think we can move to the review. Better than Rafa. That's that's how that's how I'm gonna rate it. Better than Rafa. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that. Also, that's quick. Predictions. God, I mean, I have a prediction for Omega. I think Omega might be. I think she might secretly have all the parts of the Bad Batch. Besides maybe the strength, because we haven't seen her lift something. But we see in the first episode, she's able to shoot a gun without any proper training, pretty well. Of course, she was smart because she was learning with the Camoans, and she was always in the medical wing. And then this episode, we see her tracking with Hunter. I think yeah, Taptoid. Amazo. She's an Amazo. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. Um, I also think I know this is probably a little late or early for this, but I think in the later finale episode, I think we get a Crosshair redemption, but that's not till 4 or 5 episodes probably. I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what else to say.